In a moment of deep reflection, your partner is experiencing a profound, transformative period, diving into past mistakes and current struggles while questioning how they arrived at this point. They recognize that a significant part of their current pain stems from following misguided advice from friends or family, people who perhaps didn't have their best interests at heart or, just as likely, had unwittingly shared their own misguided values. They realize now that listening to these influences, rather than listening to their own inner voice or the love you offered, has led them into a dark period of discontent and self betrayal. In seeking validation, they lost sight of what truly matters and disregarded the most valuable relationships and principles in their life. They're beginning to see that much of the inner turmoil they're facing is a result of choices made in pursuit of others' approval or because they were fearful of societal judgment. Their nights are sleepless as every decision, every conversation, and every dismissal of their true self plays out before them in an endless cycle. The universe seems relentless, replaying their past actions as if to say, "It's time." This insistence from the universe, combined with the internal guilt they feel, serves as a wake up call, pushing them toward a new path, one that demands change. No longer can they cling to outdated habits or give power to external opinions that draw them further away from happiness. Through these sleepless nights, the universe is also sending healing energy their way. This is a rare moment of both punishment and grace, a teaching moment where they are allowed to feel their hurt and loss, yet simultaneously receive the energy they need to make things right. It's as if the universe has wrapped them in a tough yet loving embrace, compelling them to acknowledge their missteps while giving them the strength to move forward. They are painfully aware that healing requires humility and accountability, and they know that without these, their life will remain stagnant, haunted by the regrets and what ifs that fill their nights. At this juncture, your partner is not just considering their past actions, but is also grappling with the deeper roots of their behavior. They see how pride, ego, and a need for control have guided them, at times blinding them to the simplicity of true love and genuine connection. They understand now that their controlling and dismissive tendencies may have brought temporary relief or confidence, but left them devoid of real satisfaction. By prioritizing these qualities, they ended up hurting not only you but also other people in their lives, creating fractures in relationships that once held so much potential. They're beginning to see the toxic patterns that were handed down from those around them, the patterns they unknowingly adopted. These realizations bring with them a heartbreaking clarity. They lost a rare, precious connection because they were too focused on what others wanted them to be. In this internal struggle, your partner feels both despair and hope. They are tormented by the consequences of their actions, but there's also an emerging desire to repair the damage, to step out of the patterns that have held them back. The realization that they have lost the most beautiful part of their life, a love that was pure, true, and rare, has shaken them profoundly. No longer can they ignore the call to change. Each day, they wrestle with the knowledge that healing is only possible if they have the courage to reject the toxic influences that held them captive and misled them. With this clarity comes a newfound sense of responsibility. They understand that if they want a future free from regret, they must take ownership of their actions, let go of past mindsets, and set boundaries with those who contributed to their downward spiral. The universe is both punishing and teaching them. It's forcing them to confront their karma for the way they treated the love you offered so freely. For so long, they had pushed away this love, taking it for granted, possibly even mocking its simplicity and purity. They now understand that the love they dismissed was, in fact, a profound gift, something rare and sacred, which they had carelessly jeopardized in their quest for validation and control. They have come to see that a love like this is resilient, perhaps even eternal, but it cannot be disrespected or abused without consequence. This internal battle is pushing them to a critical turning point. They know they can no longer afford to let external beliefs or societal standards define their choices. With each passing day, they grow more committed to reclaiming their own power and stepping into their truth. They want to move away from the chaos that has plagued them, driven by a strong sense of self and an unshakable determination to honor the love they once took for granted. They realize it is time to be honest with themselves, to finally admit to the depth of feelings they have been hiding, perhaps even from themselves. They know now that this love is not a weakness but a source of strength, something that has the power to anchor and elevate them. Driven by this awareness, your partner feels an undeniable urge to come forward and openly acknowledge what they feel. They are ready to express their genuine emotions and intentions and to bring justice to the connection that was so thoughtlessly disregarded. The realization that they've reached after such a period of struggle is that there is only one way forward: to be true to themselves and to you. No longer can they live in the shadows of denial or manipulation. They feel it's time to break free from the chains of people pleasing and the false sense of security they sought in pleasing others at the expense of their own happiness. As the universe urges them to rise and speak their truth, they are being called to make a bold stand. They've already begun this process for some, perhaps even shared their revelation with friends or family. They have found the courage to announce that they are no longer willing to live by other expectations, and this declaration represents a significant shift within them. They want to pursue their dreams, to live according to their true values, and to rebuild the trust that was lost. They recognize that returning to you will require dedication, effort, and humility, but they feel prepared to walk this path. In choosing to return to you and honor their love, they are rejecting the superficial influences that once held them captive. For the first time, they are ready to give love the respect it deserves and embrace the changes they need to make. They understand that this journey will not be easy, but they are willing to face it. With each passing moment, they draw closer to the idea of returning, of mending the bridge they once burned. And as they make peace with this decision, they feel a growing sense of relief and anticipation. They are, at last, ready to step into the light of a love that has waited for them through it all.